A friend of ours predicted that we wouldn't be able to be together 24/7 for more than 2 weeks. This could have been true if we didn't have an unwritten step away rule. Hi, and welcome to lesson number 8. Today we're going to talk socializing. You might not have thought about this as an issue, but it actually is.
Or will become one.
Yeah, it will. If you want to get the most out of your new life, you have to learn to either socialize or desocialize. And socializing or desocializing for that matter is super important to get the best out of your new life. Because if you're overstimulated by walking in the big cities, or you are understimulated because you are alone all the time and you don't have anybody to share your experiences with, that's gonna honestly kill your travel.
Yeah, because you really need to talk to people about these new things you've seen or the new people you've talked to. That's important for you to still be socializing with not only your family and friends, but also the people you surround you with. Of course, the socializing depends on, are you traveling alone or are you with somebody? Is it your whole family or just your fiance or boyfriend, girlfriend? All depends on how you're traveling also. So how do you normally socialize?
Are you the kind of person that walks into a bar and say, "I'm new here. Who are you? And can we have a conversation? Or what are you doing for a job or every day? What are your interests? Or are you more introvert and stay at home and maybe like to be alone, or have a lot of your friends on the internet and social media? And when you're home, you're used to being able to step away or go to work or go grocery shopping. So if you're traveling with your whole family or your significant other, then you might need to desocialize once in a while, so you don't have to be together all the time. It might sound romantic if you are just fallen in love or something like that, but it can actually get too much to be together all the time. We've never been the fighting type of couple, but of course when you're together 24/7, you see things that you normally don't see, and not that the little things annoy you, but you might experience something new about your partner that you never knew before. So you have to have some sort of agreement or rule that if you step away, then the other one shouldn't follow you and continue arguing about something. When you step away, you need to be alone and you need to think, or you need to restart your brain or something like that, and then you can come back, and then you probably agree on, maybe not agreeing, but at least you'll come to terms with, you have to be together 24/7, so arguing can't be an issue.
Most of the times, the things that will come and you step away and take a deep breath, you'll realize that the things that you are arguing about are very small things and not worth arguing about.
Actually, it can also be because you've just been together too long. You don't really have something to talk about at the moment, or you just want to be alone, because everybody needs to be alone sometimes, and that's okay. It also has to be one of the rules that you step away to be alone.
Everybody needs me time.
Exactly. Everybody really needs me time. And me time is different from person to person. So how do we deal with me time? What do you do?
Well, I like my PlayStation because it gets me in another zone and not worrying about everyday life and small arguments. And that's my me time, or just sitting at the computer and what do you do?
Well,
I know what you do, but
I like my audiobooks a lot. So I put on my earplugs and I listen to audiobooks while doing something creative. It can be making jewelry or crocheting or making something out of a stick or something. Just I can disappear into my universe and have my me time, and then I'll be energized enough to face this horrible man again. No, he's not horrible, but we do need me time.
It's important to have alone time with yourself and your own thoughts, and so we got the question a lot of times: how are you going to manage being together 24/7, all week, month, year long? We learned along the way. We had a few pointers of how we're going to do that. We had this unwritten rule about stepping away.
And even though people might think that we do everything together, that's not true. We can go to a store and one of us is going to another store and or staying in the car if this particular store that the other one is going to is not interesting, or if one of us just need to sit on our phone and scroll. We don't have to hold each other's hands all the time and look at clothes or something.
Yeah, this is real life.
It's
not Disney.
No, it's not Disney. I get so tired every time he walks into an electronics store. I've seen them, and I'm not a huge fan of electronics, but Malte likes them a lot, and he can look at everything in there. And the same goes for some sort of
makeup store or with clothes and everything. Then I find a little spot or a cafe I can enjoy a coffee or a beer, and then times go by like that, and then you get your alone time, I get a little alone time, and there are no rules of how long and how many times you have to do this. It's all about relaxing and doing what you like best.
Making space for each other.
Yeah, making space for each other is very important.
Yeah. Also, instead of getting annoyed that let's for instance say that Malte sleeps longer in the morning than I do, instead of getting annoyed and we get nothing out of the day, then just enjoy this time you have for yourself. I do that. I have my coffee and everything around me is quiet, and I'm on Facebook, or I work a little or on the computer, or this is also me time. So I turn it around to something positive instead of it's super annoying and how can you sleep so long?
So you really think it's annoying?
No, I don't know.
No, because you turned it around and then it's your alone time.
I could have thought that it was annoying. Some people might think that, but why should I? It gives me time to myself, and I enjoy that.
If we got in disagreement or even just banging our heads together, it would be better just walking away and take a deep breath of fresh air, or
because sometimes the things that troubles your mind isn't all that important, or they might be important to you, but they're not important to other people.
Yeah, or things that irritates you. It might be in the moment, but as long as you take this time out, step away, you'll realize that, was that all? It might be tiny things, but because you're together 24/7, it might feel like a big thing, something that really fill all the day and fills your head with all sorts of things. But as long as you get this time out, you'll realize that those small things are just small things, even though they sound big in your head. or are very irritating at the moment. You realize after 5 minutes alone, you think, okay, let's move on.
They might be a sign that you actually need these 5 minutes alone, that you have been too much together with other people. So take a walk or sit over in a corner and listen to some music or something.
Yeah.
Kind of do what you used to do at home.
Of course, at home you needed timeouts as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And what did you do at home? Can you do this on your traveling? Of course you can. And it is important for you to have this alone time by going out on your own and not having, if you are traveling with someone, not having them asking you all the time of what is wrong or what did I say, or it's just when you go for your alone time, it's time out. It's like a timeout. And when you get back, everything will be easier, and you have to promise yourselves that don't dig in it, and as long as you get some fresh air and your thoughts will be straight, everything will be better.
People are simply not made to be alone all the time, but they're absolutely not made to being with someone all the time either. So you have to find a balance, a socializing balance in some sort of way. One moment, there's a cat that's meowing outside.
Hey Lars. Hey, hi.
That's Avenger's friend.
Yeah.
We named him Lars. He's a big white wildcat, or he's not so wild anymore.
Not that wild, no. But
we kind of domesticated him.
Yeah.
But he's talking.
Felt sorry for the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just sitting there.
He's talking a lot, and that was what you might have heard there. But it's good that Avenger has a friend now.
Yeah. If you're traveling alone, it's important to get out and meet people, or just conversation with the ordinary people around you.
You might not be so bold that you dare to just step into a cafe and say, "Hi, I'm here. Who are you?" and then make conversation. But there are several communities on the internet for other people traveling. And that's all sorts of traveling. There can be communities for single, solo, female travelers, or for men that's hiking, or there can be for people writing books. There's all sorts of communities out there, and you should definitely join one of them or several. Also, if you're not a single traveler, to me it's kind of nice to talk to like-minded people on the internet and share experiences and worries and thoughts in general. I see these lonely people a lot in the groups that I'm a part of. People writing, I feel alone, and you can see that their thoughts are kind of spiraling, and maybe I want to go home, and maybe this is not for me, and I don't know how to get any friends, and I'm also feeling a little sick, and that's some sort of a negative spiral to get into, and again, it will kill your travel. You can't travel like that. You have to be more positive. Of course, we can all have down days, but you have to find positivity instead of this negative spiral.
Yeah, it might even help with a little list. You probably won't love everything on the list, but maybe make a little list. Go to a cafe, or go to a concert, go to a museum, do something that you might even don't do at home, but you force yourself to do this, and then you'll see other people, and you'll feel this lifting, this loneliness, or this trapped in my own little world. That's a very good way to do it also. You might focus too much on I'm so alone, I'm not with anybody, I don't have anyone to talk to, and that's a bad road to get down on.
We talked about it earlier, this thing about leaving your comfort zone, and this is certainly also a point where you can leave your comfort zone and do something that you're not used to, and it might be super scary, but once you learn, and once you've tried it maybe once or twice, the things that are on your list to be social in another way that you're used to, then it's not scary anymore. Then it's kind of fun, and you think, oh, I want to do this more, and I want to get to know more people. It's just step out of that comfort zone, because this is your new life now. So you can't everything can't be as it used to be.
And it will be rewarding. Doing things that you're not used to doing or do not feel comfortable doing, it will all be a prize at the end, and you'll think, oh, did I really do that? And now you might even like it so much you'll continue doing it.
Yeah, it'll make you grow as a human being. I bet you didn't think about this, but all you are planning on doing now, it's gonna make you grow as a human being,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. People will not know you after a while, but not in a negative way. They're gonna look at you and think, oh my god, you've grown so much, and you have become so much more than you used to be. So this is amazing.
Yeah, to have this whole new perspective of life and how to interact with other people. So most of this socializing is not socializing with the ones that you're traveling with. It's also the places that you are. It's important for you to get out, and if you want to see the local things, you need to speak to the local people. And you'll get a friend or two.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll get to know many more things than you would have if you'd just been reading about it on the internet or in a book or in a tourist brochure. You'll get the stories behind everything, and local traditions, and all sorts of fun stories, actually.
Yeah, another way in getting into a bar or a cafe, and just ask people, where do I get something great to eat? Is there some place you recommend? And that's a good starter.
Yeah, it can definitely be a good conversation starter. You can also ask people, what is there in the area that I should see, and that's a really good conversation starter. I know we did that way
We
back.
did that a couple of times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we got some beautiful sights. And
There was also Bobby when we went to Skiathos.
Yeah.
He had a store in the main street that we really liked, but we got to talk to him and talk about his life, and later on he invited us for a motorbike ride to see the beaches that the locals were using, and that beach was amazing, and it had
that was just one question led to another, and suddenly we were friends with this guy.
Yeah, we're still friends. That's actually how we met a lot of our friends that we know from basically all over the world. As I say sometimes, that we can go to any part of the world and we'll know somebody. Either we met them in real life, or we met them on social media of some sort, and we can sleep anywhere in the world because we know people anywhere in the world just by being open and friendly and accommodating. But one thing that's important is that you also socialize with people like you, people that are in the same situation as you are. Either it can be you're traveling in a motorhome, or you are island hopping and living on hostels, because they can understand what you're talking about. if you talk to your family back home or your friends back home or people who are not in the same situation as you are, they are not gonna understand what you're talking about. They're gonna nod and say, "Oh yeah, I understand."
Or maybe then just come home. Just come home. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to have some sort of communication with people who are in the same situation as you are.
They can relate to, oh, I had that problem last year, or I had that problem last week. So if you do like this or do like this, it won't be that hard. You won't feel alone.
Or when we can't say bitching, can we? Yeah, we can. When we are having troubles with the weather here because the wind is blowing and it's only 13 degrees Celsius at night or something. I know our family back home are saying that oh, that's more than we have in the daytime. And but to us it's cold because we're used to something else. So it's important that you have somebody that can relate to that little problem. We'll put some links in today's lesson to a lot of communities for travelers, either couple travelers or family travelers or solo travelers, and you can check some of them out, and then otherwise you can Google almost any topic that you like, bird photography, travel, communities. Everything is actually out there, so check them out and use your own imagination or your own interests and check out what's out there. There's so many communities. If you're not the type, whether you are solo or traveling with someone that just kicks in the door somewhere and say, here I am, and talk to me, then you can go to Google, and in the area that you are, there's a feature called what's happening in the area, and then you can maybe look for something. It can be a concert, or it can be a painting class, or yoga lessons on the beach, or in the middle of the park, or something like that. And it's also on Facebook. Actually, you can search what's happening in my area. So there's a lot of interesting things that way that you can attend, either alone or with somebody, but at least you get to meet other people. So you're not so prone to fall into the trap of either being alone or being too much with the ones you're traveling with. So that's also a kind of socializing. When you feel lonely or angry, all sorts of negative thoughts run through your head. That'll block for the happy thoughts, or even stop your adventure before time.